Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
I saw this app.
I got a hit. In the new limited series, DTF St. Louis, Jason Bateman, David Harbour, and Linda Cardellini star as 3 suburbanites who spice up their love lives.
Wow.
Don't miss the new HBO original limited series, DTF St. Louis, premiering March 1st on HBO Max.
Ugh, you said you were over him, but his hoodie is still in your rotation. It's time. Grab your phone, snap a few pics, and sell it on Depop. Listed in minutes with no selling fees. And just like that, a guy 500 miles away just paid full price for your closure. And right on cue.
Hey, still got my hoodie?
Nope. But I've got tonight's dinner paid for. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste. List now with no selling fees. Payment processing fees and boosting fees still apply. See website for details.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Nice. You said that with a lot of force. I feel like that was a really good read, Greg. You're on fire so far today, man.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Ass.
Why is there a poll behind Tony from the start of our show today?
Juju has the polls. We usually do that at the end of the show.
No. It's that like
An actual poll.
It's a poll more of like a staff.
I'm glad. It's time to start holding people's feet to the fire here around this show. You know, like everybody loves to talk about what they will and won't touch with a figurative 10-foot pole. And Tony's back there talking about this, that, and the other. Everybody. That's what the show's about. But you know what? We go the extra mile. It's not a figurative 10-foot pole. We have a literal 10-foot pole. What will you touch with it or refuse to touch?
Tony's 9 feet tall, I guess.
All right. So how do we get this started then? What?
Well, let's do some basketball. Actually, should we hand that thing to Amin? Let's see how it's done. Give that one to Amin.
Hey, give it to Amin.
He's the basketball guy, right?
All right, so he's holding
the
the pole.
10-foot pole here.
He's
Hold on.
holding
Be
a 10-foot
careful of the
pole.
cameras and the lighting. All right.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, listen. People were very excited. They were very upset in Dallas a year ago when Luka went from the Mavs to the Lakers, and people, boundless optimism in Los Angeles when Luka arrived. Not multiple titles, not one, not two. Luka now, there's some discord. People are unhappy with him. Luka will finish his time with the Lakers without winning a single ring. Will you touch that with the literal 10-foot pole? Oh, wow. Where's the image? We need an image of the image of old Luka there.
I will
There he is.
stab it with a 10-foot pole because here's the deal. As I gingerly put this thing down. All right, number one, winning championships is hard. We see it every year. People get hurt. People get suspended. People lose the motivation to play hard, apparently. Coaches mess up. So just the act of winning a championship is never a given in the NBA. Number two, Luka Doncic has not historically been a durable guy. No, I'm not doing a let's support Nico Harrison's BS trade thing, but there was a kernel of truth in, like, how do we know this guy is going to stay durable? Number three, he plays in the Western Conference. And as we see every day, the Western Conference is cutthroat. You could be a championship caliber team and never even get a chance. Why? Because the Western Conference. And number four, the biggest thing about the current CBA is nothing is permanent. Guys are getting traded left and right. To say, oh, he'll finish his Laker career with a championship, how long is his Laker career even going to be? He might be gone in a couple of years.
Paul Hamels.
Interrupted to get that one in there.
So Amin would touch that with a 10-foot pole, so as a result, he's got the pole.
I'm stabbing it with the 10-foot pole.
Okay.
There's no fear in my heart when it comes to this.
I have another one then. Hand this one off to Tony. Let's see how he feels about
Talk
that.
to me,
It came up yesterday when Greg Cody came in here and said that he had just finished off an egg and sausage, egg and ham. Is that what you said?
I think it was egg and ham, yeah.
Egg and ham croissant, which was a weird way to articulate what he had just eaten, because generally people go meat and then the egg is the afterthought.
Like ham and egg, yeah.
Yeah, right. But you did
like a
what
ham
you
and
did.
egger.
But now what really caught my ear was that you mentioned ham, which is, in my book, the best of all breakfast meats, underrated though it may be. A bone-in ham. Yeah, that's a good way to go.
Bone-in ham.
Bone-in ham with some over easy eggs.
Like
on
a
the
honey
side.
glazed ham?
No, like the kind you get at Christmas time, and then you put it in the fridge at night, and then when you wake up, your first deed is to shave off some nice pieces, then drop them into
it's a honey baked ham.
Okay, a honey baked ham then. Yeah. Okay. So it's better than bacon.
Greg, you were on me with that, right? Honey baked ham. You know,
you raising your voice?
But now you're.
I am.
Like the one at Cracker Barrel.
Can we get? Yes. Can we get a picture of a pig up here right now? Okay, here we have a pig.
Oh, look at
Tony.
He's gonna taste so good.
If you can only consume the flesh of one beast to the exclusion of all others for the rest of your life, the correct beast to choose is swine. Will you touch that with a 10-foot pole?
I would again stab it with a 10-foot pole like I'm harpooning a whale. I would go like this. Boom. Where's the camera? Right.
So
there.
you're going swine.
So pig would be the.
No, I'm going a different one.
Oh, so you would not touch it.
not touch it.
No, he'll touch the conversation.
I don't think he knows
he's
how
willing
this works.
to. No, he's willing to talk about it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank
he's
you.
touching the conversation with
Yes.
a 10-foot pole.
Yes,
he doesn't have to
yes,
agree
yes.
with your take.
Correct.
No. But he's not. But the point is that swine is the best of all
It is
meats.
not. It is not. It is
So you would not touch that.
I would not. It is the cow.
Make your case.
The cow has so many different things. I can cook steaks. I can get ribs. I can do burgers. I can do whatever I.
You can get beef ribs, but
can
you
get
can
a
really
beef rib.
do you? Okay, I mean, if you really zero in there, you want beef ribs.
Have you
over
ever had a
pork
good
ribs?
beef? Yeah. Have you
Of
ever
course,
had a good
I had good.
Okay, so then what are you talking about?
I
They come
know
out
what
like
it
a
tastes like. I know a pork rib is
The
better.
pork rib is tiny.
But
It's a
better
tiny
than a
little
beef
rib. The beef rib is like this big. It comes out like the pole.
Like the Flintstones.
Exactly right. Like a dinosaur rib. That's what I like with a bark on top. I know you've had those.
I love that bark.
The bark is great.
Rawr, rawr.
You have that. You have steaks of all kinds.
Okay.
You can do sausage.
Steaks of all kinds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Steaks
2
of
or
all
3.
kinds, yeah.
New York
Burnt
strip.
ends.
Filet mignon.
Ribeye.
T-bone.
Churrasco. Do you even know about churrasco?
You know about churrasco?
I don't know about churrasco. I do know about burgers, and I'll miss them. I'll miss them something awful.
What?
But then again,
What are you gonna eat a pork loin?
I'm gonna wrap myself up in pork chops.
Yeah, bacon.
and baby back
Beef bacon is better.
ribs.
Pork belly.
Minute pole.
Beef bacon is the superior bacon.
Short ends. Short ends.
Can
Who
I tell
mentioned
you-
the short
Oh, yeah.
ends? Roy. No,
Bert, you can get
Burn
burn
ends.
ends. You can get
Burn
burn ends on the
ends.
cow.
Burn
What are
ends
we
are
doing
so
here?
good.
Yeah, but that's off the brisket though. That's beef.
Yeah.
Brisket.
That's beef, buddy.
Yeah, baby.
Guess what's for dinner?
Okay, I would go cow as well, but can I tell you, ham is great.
By the way, how can you eat ham?
Well, okay, so I love ham.
Jews eat. I think that's an antiquated notion. Tony.
Misnomer.
No, it hasn't
Jewish
changed.
people
It's not
eat-
antiquated.
I don't know anybody. I don't know very many Jewish people outside of Orthodox Jews.
Look to your right.
Who don't eat ham.
Okay,
and haven't their whole lives.
So I love ham. All right, don't get me wrong. I did not try ham. I never tasted ham for the first time until I was 16 years old.
what the hell?
That's crazy.
That seems impossible. To
I'm
me.
growing up, people are having ham and cheese sandwiches, whatever else you're doing with your
And hold on, you're sitting there like, oh, I wish I could have some.
it never occurred to me even to have it. I just know this is not something that we have ever had in my house. Just like growing up, I never had soda in my house, okay?
That's not true.
This is something that we never had in my house, ham. And I know that we didn't have it in my house because we're Jewish and it's just a thing that we don't eat. And I had never, ever tried it before. Never even thought about it, to be honest, all right? And then at 16 years old, my parents got divorced.
I'm sorry.
And I'm all right.
And then you get your rebellious phase started.
And my father moved out, and he got his own place, and I was at his place one time, and he's making a sandwich, and he pulls ham, deli meat ham, out of the fridge. And I'm like, what you got there, man? And he said, this is ham. I go, ham? I'd never been in a house where there's ham. I go, ham? Not that I was offended as a Jewish person. I was offended because I never had it before. And I go, I want to try that ham. And he gave me a piece. I'm like, this is delicious. And so now for the rest of my life, I love ham. So good.
Let me say it. Let me say it right now. Let me say it right now. As someone who does not eat pork, every time I've accidentally had pork, disgusting.
Really?
What? I've had pork chops on accident. I've had ham on accident.
I accidentally ate pork chop.
No,
How
because-
did you slip and fall and a pork chop went in your mouth?
I was somewhere where they were serving, and I took like one bite out of it.
Because you're curious?
No. Like it was one of those like.
You ever do that blind
He didn't
buffet?
know. He must have been dry.
It's a preset, like, hey, this is the main course, and they brought it out. I'm like, okay, and I thought it was beef, and I took a bite. Like, oh, this is disgusting. What's that? I was like, oh, it's pork chops. I'm like, oh, that's gross. Bacon. I've had bacon. I was like, oh, this is gross, right?
Wow.
I didn't know bacon was in it. I took a bite in the burger. I was like, oh, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's bacon. But you give me some beef bacon. Oh my God.
Beef bacon.
Beef bacon is amazing.
Never even
like turkey
heard
bacon.
of it.
I used to like turkey bacon until
a
I
little
had,
flat.
Until I had beef bacon,
Yeah,
and I
it's
was
a
like,
little flat.
holy hell, I've been living a lie.
Josh Hamilton.
I mean, a lot of people would choose swine for their one beast because of bacon.
Yeah.
That's how much people often
But
love
again,
it.
you don't know churrasco. You don't get it. You've never had a churrasco medium rare with a little chimichurri on top and a little lime squeezed on top. My
Also,
God.
you know why the whole bacon obsession is, right? Because Big Bacon put in billions of dollars into marketing to have bacon in milkshakes, bacon in donuts. This is a real thing. I'm
My
not making
taste
it
buds
up.
were duped. Is that your
You
claim?
were
Big bacon, big
programmed.
pork.
You were programmed by
other
the
white
pork
meat.
sellers of America. Yes, the other white meat. Look at you.
What else are you being
you're a
programmed
pawn.
by?
You're
Huh?
a pawn like
what
those
else are you
hockey
being
players.
programmed by, Dave Damashek?
Well, here's the other thing I believe is that even when it comes to people will try to make a divide of sausage links versus sausage patty, and they'll say, well, the virtue of the patty is when you want a breakfast sandwich, and I say, even then, give me the link. Give me the splayed out link on the on whatever your delivery bread is. If it's a bagel or an English muffin or just traditional pieces of bread, I'll take the link over the patty. There's
I like the patty.
There's no situation that I ever want the sausage.
I'm a link
patty.
guy.
The link has to have a snap to it.
Snap.
Though.
That's the
Yes.
difference. That's what you
Snap.
get from it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we touching it with the 10-foot pole?
Tony did not, or he said
He's
he
touching
should.
it. Just to change your opinion.
Not
I got
touching-
it right now to give you the right opinion.
Not touching it with a 10-foot pole means you say that like, oh,
He's
I don't want
refusing.
it.
I don't
He's
want to
rejecting
have
it.
this conversation.
I'll have the conversation, and I'll be right.
So he touched it.
Lavernius polls. Folks, listen up. Quick break in the action. Are you counting down the days until payday? Instacash from Moneyline can help you access up to $500 of your hard-earned pay early. There's no interest, no credit check, and no monthly fees. So you can manage those in-between expenses with less stress. Download the Moneyline app and link your qualifying bank account to see what you qualify for. Moneyline. Make money easy. Instacash is subject to terms and eligibility requirements. Expedited delivery requires a turbo fee. See moneyline.com.
Hey listeners, Chime is changing the way people bank. And honestly, it's about time. This is fee-free, smarter banking built for regular people like you and me, not old school banks charging overdraft and monthly fees just for trying to live your life. This is banking that's actually on your side. Chime isn't just another app. They unlock smarter banking with tools like MyPay, giving you access to up to $500 of your paycheck when you need it, and even getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, something that I would really like to take advantage of. There are no overdraft fees, no minimum balances, no monthly fees. Chime makes your everyday spending work harder with real rewards, stress-free credit building, and savings earning up to 3% APY. And there's the new Chime card. Build credit with your own money. And with qualifying direct deposits, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible purchases. Chime is not just smarter banking. It is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/Dan. That is chime.com/Dan.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
It is time to talk to you kind folks about one of our best partners, one of our longest tenured partners, Miller Lite. You know, we've been with Miller Lite for about half of their illustrious existence. and I couldn't be more grateful.
We often ask you to support those who support us.
So the other day, I was fully in stay-at-home mode, had the left turns on, relaxing on the couch, long day, sweatpants, remote in hand, already planning which sporting event I was gonna flip to next. Then a friend texted me, nothing big, hey, why don't we just have a small hang? And I said, come on over, pal. I got the Miller Lights on deck. I put out a bucket filled with ice-cold, beautiful white cans of Miller Lite, and we had ourselves a Sunday. Next thing you know, the race is tight. Everybody's yelling at the TV. We're toasting our beers, and we look at each other. We take a sip, and we know that we made the right call. Cheers to the legendary moments with Miller Lite. Great taste and 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Le Batard.
Can I tell you something? I don't know, it was maybe like a month ago. And I decided to watch Pitch Clock. And I told Jeremy,
Stugotz.
This is a good show you're doing.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
All right, who else can play? We got another one, Dave?
Who else wants it?
Garrett Pohl, right? Did we do that one yet?
Yeah, you're playing.
Now you're playing the game.
All right, you know what? If you want to stick with, you know what? Let's go back to sports here. There's a lot of buzz around Connor McDavid is a big choker, and
Let's
then
give it to
this is
Roy.
led because
is this a Roy?
Our favorite thing.
Roy.
Well, no, actually, I'm going to go football here, and because our favorite sport is
What a
pro
tease,
football, then we have to connect Connor McDavid or whoever's in the news to make it an NFL conversation, and so now it has become Josh Allen and Connor McDavid are comparable because neither guy's ever going to win a title. I think Zaz floated something interesting, though. Is Patrick Mahomes, let's give it to, we want Zaslow?
Sure, I want to try.
Let's give Zaslow the literal 10-foot pole here.
J. Pole.
Here we go. Jonathan Zaslow. Patrick Mahomes is finished winning Lombardis. Will you touch that with a 10-foot pole?
You'll have this conversation?
Zaz is now holding the 10-foot pole.
We did Nick right dirty by showing the Patrick Mahomes picture, which is always funny. Okay, so pose me the question again. I was very focused on not dropping the ball.
Patrick Mahomes is finished winning Lombardis, as a player at least.
We had a conversation only a few minutes ago about how difficult it is to win a championship. Patrick Mahomes has already won 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And he's been to, a total of 5 Super Bowls? He's lost 2?
Right.
So I am touching this with a 10-foot pole. I'm all over this.
Think about if that actually happens. That is a bold stance to take. That Patrick Mahomes
will not win another one.
Well, 13 months ago, had he and his teammates beaten the Eagles, we would now talk about Patrick Mahomes as the greatest quarterback of all time.
Which would have been ridiculous.
Well, if you win 3 in a row, there's at least a case to be made, and then it would be the MJ and LeBron
the guy they're comparing him to has won 7.
I hear you. Like I say, it would be the Jordan and LeBron debate ongoing, and instead, I do think that it's plausible, at least, if not likely, that Patrick Mahomes has won his last Lombardi.
Yeah, that's why I'm touching it with this pole, Greg.
I see why you're touching that 10-foot pole. I think his reputation is sealed and made. Like, he doesn't have to win a
He's going to the Hall of Fame, but it would be disappointing at this point, right?
It would be disappointing for him, but not for history.
I don't think it would be disappointing. Yeah, it'd be disappointing for him. Right.
Because how many and I don't know the answer to this. I suspect the number is 5 or less. How many quarterbacks have won 3 or more Super Bowls?
It's 5 or less.
Montana, Bradshaw,
Aikman.
Brady, Aikman.
Aikman is the outlier in that, right?
I think Bradshaw is, no?
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, I know you want to play that game, but obviously Bradshaw made the mid-career pivot from a guy who turned around and handed the ball off, allegedly, to Franco and Rocky Blyer, and the defense carried the day. And then they installed the Mel Blount rule in 1978, and he leads the league in touchdown passes and wins the MVP. Don't give me that jive, Cody.
Nicole Kidman.
You could make an argument that Terry Bradshaw is undeserving of the Hall of Fame. You could make that argument. What's his?
Please.
What's
I
his
can make
career?
a lot of arguments. Doesn't make them right.
He laughs in your face with that statement,
Terry
Greg.
Bradshaw's, and I don't have the stats in front of me.
I'll pull up the stats, Greg.
Terry
Oh, my
Bradshaw's
God.
career completion
They're gonna be
percentage
underwhelming.
is around 52% or something.
You know who else's career completion percentage is around there? Everyone else he played with. It was a different era. It was a different game.
He was
If
low
you're
for
trying to
that
measure,
era.
no, he was not. If you're trying to measure him against 21st
Low.
century QBs, everyone's going to lose out. Everyone. Roger Staubach does not have Brock Purdy's stats.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill threw for more career yards than Joe Montana. Does that make him better than Montana?
Nope.
I mean, come on. Listen, you can take circumstantial, generational stats and compare them with the 70s. And, of course, it's the same reason that Steve Garvey isn't in the Hall of Fame and Dave Parker had to wait so long to get in, because we try to apply modern standards to things that happened 40 years ago. It's unfair.
Paul Feinbaum.
To Greg's point, he was right on the money with the completion percentage of 51.9%, 52% for his career. But, Dave, and I will ask you this, obviously it's hard to compare eras because obviously the game is completely different. We could kind of establish a benchmark, a baseline of things that were bad in all eras, right? Interceptions, turnovers, bad in all eras, correct?
Sure.
70s, 80s, 90s, today.
Magic 102.7.
Terry had one, let me see, I'm counting, three.
Could have done this before.
No, he had, because there's a lot of rows and numbers. He had 4 seasons 14 years that he did not throw double-digit interceptions.
Also, they do a tournament at the end of every season, and then when they do that tournament, it's the playoffs they call it, and then they play the Super Bowl at the end of this thing, you see, and then they give out one trophy, only one trophy, and I know people are empathetic. They're not society's greatest empath. That's me. But everybody's so empathetic about, like, that's not the end all be all, except that so long as the sport continues to conduct that tournament and award only one team the trophy, it is going to be the most important thing of the season and who wins it. And
So what are you saying here?
And in a league called the quarterback league, and when we all agree that the most difficult position in sports to play is quarterback, and when that guy is paid 20 times more than his teammates are paid, then obviously whether or not you win those games is everything. And so Terry Bradshaw won 4 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? There's no case to be made. It's a ridiculous case to make that Terry Bradshaw not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
That's not okay. That's not remotely comparable.
Will you give me this? Will you give me Terry Bradshaw is the least impressive of the 3+ Super Bowl quarterbacks?
No. Troy Aikman.
What?
Troy Aikman is less impressive.
Juju, put it on the poll. Who's less impressive, Troy Aikman or Terry Bradshaw? Not Kerry Bradshaw. I almost said Kerry Bradshaw.
Dave, Terry Bradshaw had more interception seasons of 20+ than he did single digits.
Ouch.
For a long, long time, there was only one person who threw a fourth quarter go-ahead touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. Deep shots, too, at that. And Terry Bradshaw did it not once, but twice. He did it. And what's a crazy stat, though, to sort of point to how different the eras are, the first 300-yard passing game of Bradshaw's career, he gets drafted in 1970. First 300-yard passing game of his career, Super Bowl 13 in January of 1979. That's
For the
wild.
love of God, say Drewski!
So I wanted to mention something that I saw yesterday. I was looking at it on Twitter, and literally right after I was watching it, I got a message from Chris, sending me the exact video that I was watching. And so spring training is going on right now. And by the way, I have such a hard time with baseball, where like baseball has tried to be really progressive. Major League Baseball has tried to be progressive. They're changing rules and they're trying to stick with the times. But I have a very difficult time every year knowing what rules changes are actually taking place. I never know how many teams are in the playoffs in Major League Baseball. How many playoff teams are they letting in this year? Like, I never know, all right? But I guess credit to Major League Baseball for trying to become more progressive. And one of those things is they're installing, I guess, the ABS, the Automated Balls and Strikes Challenge System. So my first question here, before I get to the video I was watching that Chris immediately notified me of at the same time I was watching it, is this, and I guess Jeremy's the right person to direct this question to, Is this a thing, like, for sure at the Major League level this year? They are doing ABS challenge. Is it challenges?
Yeah.
And is it unlimited? Like, what is it?
I believe it starts with 2, and so long as you get it right,
if you get both right,
continue. I don't think it's if you get both right. I think if you get it right, it like stays at 2.
Okay.
I can check on that and correct myself.
But
if
it's
I have that
at the
wrong to
Major
begin
League
with.
level this year.
Yeah, and it's for your team, right? It's not per player, so it is determining circumstance, no different than another challenge in another sport.
And the only people who can trigger the challenge is the pitcher, the catcher, or the batter, right? They got like pat their head or something.
Wait, 2 total, Taché, for the game?
It's 2 total, but as long as you get them right, you keep them.
Interesting. Wow.
Okay, so it sounds like we got that down. All right.
And now they're taking away the square, though, right? Isn't that that's the
No, the square stays, but they're taking away on the television broadcast, marking where the ball landed.
No, not even that. Actually, what they're doing.
Glad we're
is-
talking this out.
Yeah, no, it
I never
matters.
know. Going into every year with MLB, I don't know what rule changes are in effect.
The only different, well, so the rules for the last couple of years have been the same, but when you look at the way it's going to display on the screen, all that the difference is they'll even show you where the ball lands. But it used to be that when a pitch is a strike, based off of the automatic, it would go green or red, or in some cases it would fill up. They're not doing that anymore.
Gotcha.
And that's a result of they just don't want teams
Whatever, I don't
to
need
be able
that.
to
I
see
got
it
eyes.
if they're going to challenge.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. I can tell. I know what it's a ball and a strike. So anyway, yesterday there was a game. And
This poor umpire.
This well, I mean, it's his job, but yeah, this poor umpire where he kept getting checked for, or challenged for ball and strike calls. And like the play happens, the pitch comes in, whoever challenged it, and then the umpire, like, he sees the challenge and he immediately like steps aside like 5 spots. It's almost like he's now on trial. He has to step aside all on his own. He's isolated now. He's
and
standing there by
report on
himself.
himself, too. The findings, he's the one who has to say what they
He's
were.
on trial
I was
now
wrong.
for everyone to see if he's going to be innocent or guilty. And 5 consecutive challenges, the challenge was successful, and he had to announce that he was wrong. I'll tell you, I don't know how this is going to be a positive thing.
No. They're going to have to start recruiting people to be umpires, because who would want to be an umpire when you're second guessed routinely?
I got great news. We have their replacement. It's called the video cameras.
Well, here's the thing. I like the human error involved in officiating. I think we should live with the human error. But if we're not going to live with the human error, the occasional human error, make a decision. Either make it all human judgment or make it all electronic. Quit waffling in between with the challenge.
Kind of with you on that.
I don't know if I totally agree with you, because this ABS system works so quickly that you issue the challenge. It happens within seconds. It's kind of like tennis, right? With the line judge. This happens so quickly, and as long as they're right, it continues on. But the way this is ultimately headed, more likely than not, is you have a human back there who is calling balls and strikes, but based off of a notification that they're getting if it's a ball.
Who wants to
or
be
if it's a
that
strike.
fool? So are
you in a union and are you paid?
Your computer
Because I would want to do it.
Your computer gods are telling you that was a strike. Strike,
guys, but we have to do something, because it is the dumbest thing in all of sports that the last couple seasons I'm at my house on my couch and I see that it's a ball or a strike, and this umpire in the game that matters is just getting it wrong. It is. We can't have this technology and not use it. Like, I'm all for not making them all robots, but just the balls and strike thing, you either have to do this change or take away that box from fans. Like, you want to get my blood boiling with sports the last couple years?
Clearly.
I
like this.
It is
very
fired
passionate
up.
about
I'm
that.
watching it, and it's just like, how are we here?
Get 'em.
It is the dumbest thing in all of sports. Find me something dumber the last couple seasons than a guy on my couch knowing it's a ball or a strike, but the guy officiating the game doesn't.
I haven't seen Chris this fired up since he had to eat the Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets.
That got me fired.
Greg was very excited, by the way.
Who's
Very
the
happy
guy
with
on
the
your
song.
couch? You said there's a guy on your couch, who knows? Who's the guy on
My
your couch?
friend Fred.
Oh, Fred.
Wow,
Fred.
you're becoming your father.
Yeah, that is you becoming Greg, and right before our eyes.
In sports, championships aren't won alone. They're won with the right people around you.
That's exactly what Intuit TurboTax brings to taxes. With TurboTax Expert Full Service, match with a dedicated tax expert who handles your taxes from start to finish. The experience is seamless. Start in person, finish online, move between both whenever needed. The dedicated tax expert keeps things updated every step of the way, so nothing falls between the cracks. Think of it like having a great head coach with a solid game plan. The plays are called, adjustments are made, and the work gets done while everyone stays focused on what actually matters. And just like game film doesn't wait for business hours, neither do taxes. With TurboTax Expert Full Service, you can get any tax question answered at no extra cost, even on nights and weekends during tax season. This is having someone in your corner running the whole operation and helping put points on the board. Get started at TurboTax.com. Only available with Intuit TurboTax Full Service experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
You know, as a guy, we start to get up there in age, and all of a sudden, the energy that we used to have when we were younger just isn't there anymore. I mean, I'm 45 years old now. I may look like I'm still 35, but I don't feel like I'm 35 anymore. So, when the new year came around, I had to find something to get energized again. And that's why now I'm taking Mars Men, as it unlocks usable testosterone, so I'm feeling like myself again. That's right. My body, it makes testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up, gets hidden away, and it can't be used. So, I learned there's this protein called SHBG. It handcuffs your testosterone. Well, Mars Men is designed to free up that locked testosterone, and now my body can actually use it. Mars Men supports healthy T levels, energy, and stamina. We're talking 8 naturally, clinically dosed ingredients made in the USA. 90-day money-back guarantees, so there's no risk. Worst case, you don't absolutely love it, you get your money back. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. It's a perfect way to kick off the new year strong. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts at checkout. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them our show sent you.
DraftKings Sportsbook puts you in the middle of basketball's biggest star-driven moments. Bet player props, bet live, and when a game turns fast, DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player gets injured anytime in the first half, your bet stays alive. And once it settles, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's with code DAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Don Le Batard.
John Zaslow. You love that catchphrase. Bad news for opposing teams in the AAA.
Stugotz.
He's all smiles till LeBron's on clutch again. Clutch again. Clutch again.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
So you guys know Atlanta Braves pitcher Chris Sale. He's a great pitcher. Here is Chris Sale. Now we're going to hold him to this, right? Because this is on the record. We're holding you to this, Chris Sale. He is saying he will never challenge.
I will never challenge a pitch. I will never do it. I won't do it.
Why?
Because I'm not an umpire. That's their job.
That's fair enough.
I'm a starting pitcher. I've never called balls and strikes in my life. Plus, I'm greedy, and I know that. I think they're all strikes. You know, especially the catchers nowadays. The way they catch the ball, the way they receive, they make them all look like strikes. And again, I'm a starting pitcher, and I'm greedy. I like pitches that are on the corner that might be a little off. In the heat of moment, especially you throw a good pitch. You know, you got Murph or Baldy or whoever back there, and they kind of catch it the right way. I mean, they make a lot of balls look like strikes, and I don't want to take away. one of those challenges that might be needed later on in the game, and I've dealt with it before. It's across all games and my entire career, there's been balls called strikes and strikes called balls, and you just kind of deal with it.
He started, I was like, you're crazy. And then as he explained,
he started to make more sense.
I'm like, oh, this actually ties into something on the NBA side that we've talked about. I think, Jeremy, we talked about. Well, no, it's about challenges. And so one of the most annoying things, if you're watching NBA basketball now.
I know what you're going to say. I'm 1,000% with you.
Ball goes out of bounds, and players instantly go, ooh, it's like 2 seconds into the game.
3 minutes into the game. Yeah. Oh, my God.
They're twirling their finger. There's a twirl in their finger. Oh, you got to and go into the coaches. Review it. And so we came up with the solution. Is like, you know what?
But some coaches do review it.
But this is the solution. The solution is to do what baseball do, which is, you know what? It's like a timeout. Any player can call it.
Yep.
And you know what? Doesn't matter if you don't have one.
No
or
takebacks.
No takebacks. We'll do it. And if you don't have any, it's a technical foul.
Yep.
And we'll get rid of overnight all of this right here.
You're talking about the human element from the players. Yes, of course, they're in the heat of competition. What you're also advocating for is vibes over science.
No, I'm not.
We have the evidence. It's right there for all of our eyes, like Chris Cody just said. We all can see it. It has been laid bare that they are frauds, that we're assuming that human beings can stand behind and decide 97 miles per hour. Yeah, no, that was in the strike zone. When we all
what about the curves?
We have the technology available for us.
Dang.
It's right there for us. Why are we pretending that doesn't exist? To put it on the players is to keep us in purgatory, to say, well, that's you to have to challenge. If you don't think that was the right call, then challenge it, player. And the reason Chris Sale doesn't want to challenge it is because he's being political. In the here and now, if he says, oh, yeah, I'm going to challenge a lot of these umpires, they don't know what they're talking about, they're going to call more balls and strikes against him.
Oh, you're saying the umpires are like, I like this guy.
There's a relationship. The catcher.
That's interesting.
The catcher is the umpire is literally hovering over him.
So he's planting seeds.
The whole time the catcher knows that if I start challenging him all the time, it's going to be a fraught relationship versus me saying, like, you're doing a great job, ump.
Wait, okay, so all right.
Interesting.
Now I'm with you. Much like Chris Sale, you started, I thought you were out of your mind.
Like a crazy person.
But then as you started to land the plane and you're telling me, no. If I'm out here in support of the umpires, the umpires will be more like, oh, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
He doesn't question me. He doesn't second guess me a bunch of times.
Of course that's true.
It is a strike. Guess what? Vibes over stats is such a great place to be. Who wants lasers and technology? I want vibes. That's why we're here, Dave. Because we want the vibes of sports. No one wants to do math on a calculator. We want to see drama play out.
Nothing slows sports more than a challenge. Baseball saved itself from drowning by quickening the pace of its slow game. And now they're voluntarily inserting something that slows the game more. It's ridiculous.
But you need it.
No, you don't need it. You put up with the occasional human error. Instead of a pitch being a quarter of an inch outside and having a replay or an ABS system to tell us whether it was a ball or a strike.
More straw man stuff, Greg Cody. There's not it doesn't have to take 11 minutes. When they say, well, red challenge flag on the field, you know you're in for a big wait. It doesn't have to be that way. When they show the replay, do you not know, Greg Cody? I know immediately. I see it in real time very often. Why? Because I'm watching on HDTV. It's not in front of me. I have a clear image, literally, than the referee has of the play.
Right.
I see in real time. If I need the double down of the replay, by the time I see 2 replays, I'm like, yeah, that ball hit the ground. I know that. There's no reason. And by the way, what proves that I'm right about that is the way, what did they call it this past season? The expedited review or whatever. That proves that I am right about that. They would just be like, yeah, no, you should move along. Yeah, that ball was incomplete. And they would just say, expedited review, yeah, that was incomplete.
You're right.
There's no reason it has to take,
You're right.
has to take 15 minutes of your life.
Even if it's expedited, it's still too slow and an unnecessary intrusion.
Unnecessary?
Yes.
I'm on my couch and I know it's a ball, but this umpire who's affecting the game doesn't. This one's just quick. You're just fine with that.
That's one of the many reasons why...
It could be a buzzer.
That's one of the many reasons why it's advantageous to watch a game from your couch rather than in a stadium, unfortunately. But all I'm against is the challenge system itself. Make a decision, sports. Go with human beings making the calls with the risk of a human error, or go with all technology, not in between. The challenge system is what I don't agree with. Embarrassing an umpire because he missed a call occasionally. I don't agree with
you. I mean, Greg, you and I are at the exact opposite
Different
ends
garages.
Yes, different garages indeed.
Yeah.
I feel like Colonel Kurtz. I feel like Brando at the end of Apocalypse Now when it comes to officials. It has been, they're frauds. It's been laid bare with video that they don't know, that they miss calls all the time. They are... They're errand boys sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill by the league office.
Okay.
We have to support their jive, their jive explanations. Like, well, it would take too long. It would bog the game down. Doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It could instantly know. Yeah, strike. The only reason we don't, I think, a big part of it, at least when it comes to umpires, home plate umpires, is it would visually be jarring for us, the fans, to not see an umpire back there.
Right.
It will be a weird day when it's just the catcher.
I want to see if we can do like a robot balls and strike kind of thing right here. I want to play this and see if this was a ball or a strike.
If I were to ask you right now, what are the 3 breaking news that come to your mind immediately that you used?
Yeah, well said.
That's bullshit, man.
I think it's a strike.
You can't just take any subject matter we're talking about and then apply it.
Do you think it's a ball or a strike?
Clip.
Do you think it's a ball or a strike?
Just outside for me.
What do you think's that?
You know what? I'm going to go with that being a ball.
Would you touch that sound with a 10-foot
I don't know what that
pole?
means. It's a ball.
I will say the one guy who's going to and by the way, like
I'm going
Major
with
League,
it a bald.
Major League umpires are on average right about balls and
It wasn't
strikes.
that funny, I mean.
93% of the time.
Exactly.
Which is a good but that if anything that proves Dave's side of the point, which is the human part of this is correct the overwhelming majority of the time. So the times where it's wrong, especially late in games, it's so advantageous that there's now this system that within a few seconds we can get it right. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I believe that the guy who is going to benefit the most from this system is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Amen. Because everything about Jazz is
black.
Disliked by umpires. And he is someone who is uber confident when he walks into the batter's box, and I have watched at bat after at bat after at bat after at bat where he has a great eye, where he knows that ball is just off the plate.
Most of them do.
And he is called for strike. Not just because most of them do. I'm talking about a guy who...
He lets the umpire know that he knows.
Not only does he let them know, at a disproportionate rate, you see those pitches that are balls called for strikes, and he's looking around like, what are we talking about? I'm telling you, Jazz is going to benefit in a big way from this challenge system.
Zaz with the pitch, the windup, here it is.
The Packers win or the Bears lose. So going back to Jazz, this is actually interesting. What happens when Jazz Chisholm is up to bat, and unlike Chris Sale, Jazz Chisholm will challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And Jazz Chisholm, it's called a strike. He knows it's a ball. So he challenges, taps his head, his helmet, and the umpire is on trial all by himself, standing right over there. It comes back that it was a ball. And what if Jazz just got this shit-eating grin, just staring? Like, what's going to happen then?
Well, the other element to also do is if you are an emotional ball player and you say, "Oh, I know that was the wrong call," challenge that. The skipper is going to be like, what are you doing? We want to save those.
Right.
It shouldn't be a strategy. There shouldn't be an element of strategy of how you deploy your challenges to deploy being right. It's a crazy place, like I say, purgatory that we live in, and it's self-imposed, or league-imposed.
One of the many things I hate about the challenge in the ABS system is the idea that theoretically the challenge can happen on the second pitch of an at-bat with nobody on base in the third inning. In other words, it's a meaningless pitch.
Well, but that's why the manager has to tell his play. There has to be a rule set that each team has, where it's like, we don't challenge unless it's after the sixth
I would assume that there will be certain teams with certain players who might have the green light at all times, but I'll ask Clayton McCullough the next time I'm at spring training, hey, what is your rule going to be team-wide? Are there going to be certain guys who have the ability to do this whenever they want? Is your catcher going to have the green light whenever he wants? Or is this going to be the type of thing where, hey, we'll only make a challenge if there's already a runner on base because we think we can produce a run, or someone in scoring position, or after a certain inning? I'll ask that question so we can get the answer from a major league manager.
Saz with the 2-1.
Didn't you want to know what were the kids doing?
Ball.
So going back to Amin's original point, it makes me nuts when these NBA coaches, yes, it's one thing for the player to do the bullshit, okay? And by the way, I'm with you that if the player does it, it should automatically trigger the challenge. But if that happens, he's going to come up with another sign, like going like this means challenge. Like they're going to come up with another signal, all right? But anyway, why do these coaches challenge an out-of-bounds play 4 minutes into the first quarter? What are they stupid?
It's because you've got a player that you're just trying to. Yeah, it's politics. You're trying to get your main guy to be engaged in the game, and if this what it takes, it's just like people say, "Why do they post that dude up as the first play? He's terrible in the post."
You're talking about DeAndre Ayton, right?
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying you do that because you know that'll keep the guy engaged for the rest of the game.
Saz and the pitch.
He took the butthole.
Yeah.
Spring break isn't what it used to be. It's better. This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Visit bestwestern.com for complete terms and conditions.